Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Wasn't sure that we were going to have an episode today because, you know, we have that big storm coming through. You saw all the rain and the thunder and the lightning that we got yesterday, but it really didn't dampen these guys' ability to continue on with the project. But at one point, at the very end, it did, and they had to go. It was just too bad. And safety concerns, you always have to worry about that. Well, anyway, today we are into episode 18. Yes, building day 18 here on pool construction in the backyard of Villa Feliz. I got a few things, a few updates that I want to share with you. And we are going to continue until the rain comes. Remember, we are at the very beginning of this really big storm that is supposed to be coming right through the center of our area here. We'll see. Well, let's go ahead and get today started. Now, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Well, even though the skies have gotten threatening, again, the pattern every single day here has been beautiful morning. And then these came early, and I expected these to come early because you saw the tracking of that tropical storm yesterday that I put in the video. So I just hope they're able to get as much done. So what they did yesterday to preserve the plastic coat that they started is they were putting tin over the top of it. They have the tarp over there so it doesn't wash away. And you got to realize, people say, well, why are they working so hard to get this done? Why don't they take a day off or a couple of days off? Well, you got to realize the workers here, they are staying in a rental unit. So the days, and I'm pretty sure that they're hourly workers. So the time that they would sit inside their apartment doing nothing, they would not be getting any salary. So it's better for them to be busy during the entire period of time. And you'll find that's a strategy, that's a construction strategy that you'll see a lot in the Philippines. But they're very dedicated, no rushing, making sure that it is done right. So what I wanted to talk to you about a little bit this morning has to do with some updates. Let's go ahead and talk about that right now. Now, when you are designing your swimming pool, a lot of times you think, oh, in my mind, I know what I want, and then you provide that to your contractor, they draw it out, and then you think you're good. But after a while, just like building a house, you find that some of your design ideas, once the building has gotten to a certain stage, it isn't exactly like you had wanted. Or you might see there might be a potential problem, like when we identified that this small area right here, if we didn't have this little wall, and it will be higher and there'll be coping on the top, if we didn't have that, there's a potential for somebody to walk, which would normally walk just from this 5-inch to 10-inch section to small 5-inch drop down. They could go to this spot and just drop right down very fast down into this water, and it would be a safety hazard, especially for, well, anybody, small child or an adult. So that's why we have this feature that we built this in. Now, good thing about having a vlog, and a good thing about your inputs, your comments, I listen to everything you say, and I analyze it, and I think, oh, maybe we need to make these changes. Some things we adopt, some things we assess the risk, and we determine whether we'll make the change or not. And if it's aesthetics, that's one thing, but if it's safety, it's another. And you guys said something about this area right here. Now, originally, we were thinking that this whole area is going to be filled in right here to the support base right now. There would be no drop, no matter what, there would be no drop down here because this is all going to be filled in with a support base for the step prior to going on the bridge. But there's going to be a gap here. There will be a gap. It won't be a really big gap, but there's potential in this area for you to slip your leg down inside here, maybe bust your chin on the bridge, or it's just a safety factor. So I spoke with our foreman, Alvin, this morning, and he said, my recommendation, let's do what we did over here. For the little retaining wall that pops up with a coping, let's do the same for this area right here. So, and I think that is a great idea. So that's what we're going to implement for this area as well. Let's also talk about the bridge just a little bit. Well, let's go, when we're talking about the bridge, let's go over on this side. So what I had them do this morning, I had them run this line. Originally, our footer, well, originally the planned footer was going to be, you see this black line right here? Well, it was originally going to be over here. But when we started doing some calculation, they start doing the build up and all over here, the bridge was getting too close to the planter over here. We didn't want to cover up too much of the coping that goes. It doesn't matter if it goes over a small portion of the coping, but we didn't want it to go all the way onto the backside. So we moved it out. But there was an error in calculation on how far to go out. It got pushed too far, which our footer down here. We put the rebar down here for that, but it's an easy correction, and the correction is going to be this rebar that's for the footer of the base support right here is going to stay. This one over here, it will be bent over and it will be covered, and it will still be secured and mortar-proofed as well. So the correction means we're going to move it from where it was going to be way over here, too close to the waterfall. We're going to move it over just a bit so it's close to the coping over here. Even if it's a small area over this corner of the coping, it's going to be high enough to go over the coping, and it will give us more room if I want to jump off. And I say me because I know Ness isn't going to jump off. I'm not worried about that, but for me, I want to be able to jump off into the water inside here without worrying about being too close to the other side. So every bit of real estate that we can have on this side that's open is better. So we made that correction also this morning. Well, we did get some water yesterday, you saw, and probably had about 5 inches of water inside here. So they're going to go ahead and remove as much water as possible, because they'll be using the base inside here to do the mixing of the cement and the sand mixture that's going to be used for the plaster coat. So that's the first task for today. All right, well, I think I'm going to save myself some time, go inside, answer some comments and questions, and we'll do time-lapse video of what's going on inside the pool. And I just hope and pray that the rain stays away. Well, the weather seems to be holding out. What we're going to do right now, it's lunchtime. We're going to do a quick halftime report on where we are. You can see inside the time-lapse video that they are moving quite fast here, getting that plaster coat up against the wall. We'll get a closer look and see what it looks like. Well, I'm not going to crawl down inside. This is about as close as I'm going to get. I take a chance on falling and getting hurt around here. I am prone to falling and getting hurt all the time. So I'm staying out of the way as much as possible. I want to be able to enjoy the pool and not think about it from a hospital bed. So anyway, you can see they're filling in. Remember I said yesterday that this top bar up here and this build up that they did here, they used the level to go up and down and use that as a guideline on how much they need to fill in this section here and below underneath that section right there. So that's what they're doing right now. It's slowly getting built up, and then what will happen is they'll smooth it off. Now somebody said, a couple of people said about the build, and I'm not sure that there's a full understanding of how they do this. They thought that the concrete throw, the original pour from the big pour day, that was going to be the finish, because they said, oh, it's all wrong because it's not smooth and finished. Well, it's not supposed to be, and I brought that up yesterday, I believe, in yesterday's episode as well. All this roughness is the best thing that you can have to attach this next layer to. It embeds inside this really rough concrete. You would never want a smooth surface, because if you had a smooth surface, then you would have to chip it and make it rough so that this next layer can attach. So we're building. We are going layer after layer after layer. And then even after they do this one, there will be another one on top of that one. That as soon as they start building up, they'll put a little bit more, and then they will start smoothing. You'll see, it's sort of like this little wooden trowel that they have right here, this board. You will watch them. They will spray a little bit of water on there, and they will smooth this all the way around in preparation for the couple final coats that they will be using. Some waterproofing, some more tile adhesive, and then whatever tile finish that we will select for them to do the walls and the floor. So it's lunchtime. Ness ordered some pizza. It's Sunday. We're kind of chilling out, ordering out. We don't normally do that for lunchtime, but that's what we're doing today. So the pizza should arrive pretty soon, because they're pretty fast from downtown here ordering food. That will come in, and then we'll get back as long as the weather holds out. I'm telling you, you know what it's like in the afternoons around here. But they're making good progress. So almost pizza time. Well, we thought our pizza delivery guy just showed up at our front gate, but it's not the pizza delivery guy, but it's the next best thing. All right, so the next best thing is Dave and Emily. So anyway, Dave and Emily, you know, they have the Ballack Buying Farming with Dave and Emily, and they just came back from their farm. And they have lots of stuff inside here. So if you get a chance, go to their channel. Where's Dave? Where did he disappear to?
I don't know. Maybe he's checking.
Oh, Dave is checking out the pool construction. But anyway, they have tons of papaya trees and all kinds of. They got mango trees and everything like that. And they show that on there. They show them doing the farming out there too.
For this. Where's the umbrella?
Ah, the umbrella right here. Umbrella here. Here. Umbrella. So anyway, our pizza delivery service is here.
Ay, salamat, dinala na ninyo dito.
Maraming salamat. Okay.
Wala nang patuloy kayo. Okay lang yun lang. Trabaho lang po. Salamat po. Hindi kayo naligaw?
There's Dave. So it was certainly a wet day today. I was going to try to come out for part 2 and do some catching up, but if you look down here, well, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark down there. I loaned them my umbrella. They had their tarp. It rained a lot, but they decided that the swimming pool team, they decided they were not going to stop working today. They don't stop. I asked the foreman, Obeng, and I asked him, I said, do you guys normally work in the rain and stuff like this? And he's like, oh yes sir. We work in rain, we work in typhoons. I'm like, oh, then maybe you'll be prepared for tomorrow, because I think we're gonna have some really bad weather tomorrow. I don't know. I hope they don't work when it's too bad. I want them to be safe. We're gonna look down in here real quick. Lots of plaster coating. It's a little dark because of everything here, but I need to close. Our friends, Dave and Emily, are still here visiting us, and we are inside having a great time chatting with each other, catching up, because we haven't seen them. Oh, it's been maybe before. It was before COVID. I'm pretty sure, way back. And then I remember it was like last year we did Thanksgiving. We had Thanksgiving. Remember, we did the video. We did the smoking of the turkey right here. So, down inside here, lots of plaster coating. Lots. We'll go on the other side a little bit. They're protecting it with all the aluminum, and they're protecting it with the tarp. And it's still rough. I know there's going to be some comments about people saying, why is it so rough? Because it's not finished yet. There's more plaster coating. The very next coat, I suspect the very next coat of plaster coat on this one will be the one that they will take like I don't see the tool around here, but it's like a straight edge. They will take the straight edge and they will make it nice and flat. But remember, we still have to build a pedestal that comes up here for this area for the bridge area as well. So that's, I don't know when that will be done. Well, that's about it for today back here. Okay, well, tomorrow I think it's going to be a rainy day, but if not, if we get lucky and the storm goes in another direction, we will be back here reporting a new update for our next update day, which I think is 19 tomorrow. I think will be day 19. I will correct it in post editing if I'm wrong. So anyway, that's it for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, click on that little MPID dream heart. Bottom right hand side of your screen, you'll be subscribed and notified the next time I upload a new video. So from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.